Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot, with your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. First, I'd like to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of the journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And if you are new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic selves. And we do things completely differently around here. So with that being said, if the message does happen to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It will have everything you need. So with that being said, let's hop to our prayer and we'll go ahead and get this reading underway, which we are doing while the wind is blowing in here. We're doing, what do people secretly admire about you? I thought this would be a fun one to get into. I'm going to close the window back here. All right. Had some intense readings today, and so I wanted to do something that was a little bit lighter and fun. Alright, my beloved source, this prayer is for anyone and everyone that comes on to this reading. Today I ask that you help us stand in our internal power, to see our precious gifts and to be grateful for them, even if at times they felt like they were curses rather than blessings, knowing that it's the struggle and the adversity that helps us stand in our power and helps us step up into this place of recognizing our true value and worth. And sometimes that can be hard to understand, and sometimes that can be hard to embrace as well. You're the all-powerful being. Why don't you just take it all away from us and make it all easy? But that's not the way life is. Because we're in this dualistic realm, contrast is by its nature. And thus means that we have to experience the contrast, the light, the dark, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, whatever it is. So today I ask that you help empower us and give us strength to face all those adversities that come through, all those challenges that come through, and to help us stay present with the good moments, to celebrate these blessings that have entered into our lives, and to recognize that we are each of us worthy of what it is that we desire, and that you will deliver, even if it's not in the package that we quite imagined it would be, but it will be in alignment with our highest good. As these words are spoken upon this tribe and onto this reading, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. All right, get that set up over there. We're going to be using the Talisman Oracle today by Nora Baskaleva. This is a fun deck. I really do like this deck, and I'm just really happy when I can bring it out. I don't use it as often as I did, but yeah, I felt like it was fitting that we use this one today. All right, source, what do people secretly admire about my fellow humans? What would you like to share with us today? What Talisman Oracle is going to help us better understand what people secretly admire about you? Source, what would you like to share today with my collective? What do people secretly admire about you? What Talisman Oracle card is going to help us better understand what people secretly admire about my collective today, source, my fellow humans? All right, for pile number one, source, what Talisman Oracle card will help us better understand what people secretly admire about you, pile number one? Okay, thank you, source. And for pile number two, source, what Talisman Oracle card is going to help us better understand what people secretly admire about you, pile number two? What card is going to help us better understand? Okay, I keep feeling like it's this one. Thank you. For pile number three, source, what Talisman Oracle card is going to help us better understand what people secretly admire about you, pile number three? What do people secretly admire about you? That one right there. Thank you. Whoa. Interesting. The bottom of the deck like slid in. I don't know if you could see the corner of it right there. Right there. Let me push it in a little bit more. Yeah, okay. So that just slid in. It flipped over. I know what it is, but it's interesting that it came in. Because on the bottom underneath that, we have learning the truth. So I'm going to look at both of these really quick. But we have finding love. So what people secretly admire about you is the way that you are able to love others. You know, being able to see through eyes of love it's such a beautiful thing, but it's also challenging because there's so many reasons that happen in life that leave us jaded. And in leaving us jaded, we can show up in many different ways, in positive ways and in negative ways. But for you as a collective, you are someone who continues to see love even in hard situations. Even when things are bleak, even when things seem hopeless, you somehow are able to see the suffering of another for what it is. And instead of residing in judgment, you reside in this place of love. And you're able to see the mirror upon which yourself, with learning the truth and with this image here with the 2 seahorses, it's like, even though you may be someone who holds up a mirror to others, you're also not above recognizing when others are holding a mirror up to yourself. I was like, you learn from the situations that happen outside of you. You learn from all the things that are going on around the world today. It's something that really sits with your soul, and it's like, I need to see this. I need to see that there is good, there is bad, but both of those things also reside within me, that both of those things are also present within me, and that if I don't take accountability for both of those things being present, then how am I truly embodying accountability? So this is what people secretly admire about you on a collective level. So I'm going to read both of these from the book, and we're going to see what comes through. Finding love. It says a pure conscious connection is awaiting you. Yeah, it's like you're completely connected with consciousness, with the collective consciousness, with your higher self. It says this card doesn't always represent instant chemistry or an intimate relationship. It could also represent a nourishing platonic bond based on honesty and mutual appreciation. Right? So it's not even necessarily about loving the other person. It's about understanding, and that's what this feels like. As this card means finding your true soulmate, be on the lookout for serendipity. There can be an inevitable shift on the air that can form in the spark of your love life. Stable and fulfilling connection built on trust. Respect can make you fascinated with your other half. Moreover, it helps you reconnect with your true self. And isn't it interesting? It's like your other half, but we're actually a whole being. And no matter what, there's not truly another person that completes us. We see ourselves as whole, but it's like, that's another thing that's coming through. It's interesting that the book says it that way, because what Source is showing me is like, you see other people as a whole. So even if they're coming in their shadow energy, you're still seeing them as the whole, like the yin and the yang symbol, right? Like you see them as a whole being. And then what do we have for learning learn the truth? We are human. It is our nature, or our nature is prone to error. Yeah, you recognize that where someone's showing up, that doesn't necessarily mean the truth of who they are. That just means that's where they're at right now. But those errors are opportunities to grow and master new skills. Sometimes we are unable to see the truth because we compete with ourselves. Our ego doesn't let us move forward because first we have to acknowledge our own shortcomings. Isn't that what I was saying? Like, you're not above seeing the mirror of someone else being held up to you. You know what you have to do. And it's time to sit with the uncomfortable feelings. It's okay if it doesn't feel familiar, because progress happens when we step away from our comfort zone. The truth can be so liberating. See the opportunities that weren't there when you had your eyes closed. The owl be your guide through the darkness. Yeah, so what people secretly admire about you is that you're it's like you have come into this place of acceptance. You might not invite everybody into your bubble. You might be very, very particular about who you invite in, but you're not sitting here in a state of judgment when someone's showing up like in a state of anger, or when someone's in a state of sadness. You're recognizing that they're having a human moment, and we're all allowed to have those moments, and you're still coming from a place of unconditional love, which is not doting on other people. Unconditional love is a state of acceptance, and that's what people secretly admire about you. Wow, I'm so glad that that's the energy that's coming through. What a powerful message already. So let's see here. Let me get this set up for you, and we'll get into this and find out what each of these brings. All right. Okay, so for pile number 1, we do have the natural jasper for you to choose from. Or we have this dice with Mars on it. Pile number 2, we do have the rose quartz for you to choose from. Or we have this dice with the sun on it. Pile number 3, we have this garnet for you to choose from. Or we have this dice with the moon for you to choose from. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And whichever pile you feel called to, that should be the pile for you. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of natural jasper, or if you're drawn to this dice with Mars on it, or if you happen to be called to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on what do people secretly admire about you. First, I'd like to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And if you are new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together. Wow, excuse me. And that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic selves. And if the messages happen to resonate, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below, knowing that we do things completely differently here. Keeping that in mind moving forward. And with that, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out, what do people secretly admire about you, pile number 1. Source, what would you like to share with us today? What do people secretly admire about you, pile number 1? Source, what messages do you have? Okay, so we've got the 6th house. Wow, we've got Virgo energy, and we've got Jupiter. You aren't afraid to stay disciplined. It's interesting, even though the 6th house really isn't the house of discipline, that's more like the 10th house, but it's interesting that that's coming in because it feels like there's something here with your routines, your daily go-to activities. So people secretly admire that you're not afraid to show up and to walk a very patient path. You believe in your heart of hearts that everything is going to work out for you. And people admire this about you. Like, even when you're not seeing success or even when you're not seeing things working out right now, like, there's nothing that's keeping you from believing things are going to work out. Like, you just have it in your heart that one day I'm going to wake up and everything will be worth it. And I have to follow these patterns or these steps and these disciplines. And in doing that, it could be with health, it could be work, it could be helping animals, you know, helping the community, serving others. Whatever it is, just you do something very consistently and you're very patient. You have the patience of a saint. It wouldn't surprise me if you've heard that at least once, if not multiple times in your life, that you're incredibly patient. Like, not very much sets you off. Where most people have a very short string for people and for situations and for circumstances, you, in the image that they're showing me, is someone that's getting like hit from all sides, and somehow you still remain standing and you still remain cool and calm and collected. Whereas most people at that point, they would have just fallen down and they would have resorted to anger. They would have resorted to, you know, being hysterical. And yet here you are still keeping your head and your wits about you, even when things seem very bleak and as if there is nothing that is going to come from that. And with that, you have this very, it's a happy-go-lucky energy, but you might not be like over exuberant or overly bubbly. But I do feel like you just have a very positive mindset where, you know what, it might not be my day to day, but one day it will be. And I'm just going to keep working. And you very much focused on the journey ahead, focused on what it is that you're learning, focused on what it is that you're creating, focused on what it is that you are absorbing. And you look at it as an adventure. And that's something that people secretly admire about you, Pile 1, is your ability to take life by the horns and live it the way that works for you. Wow, I love this energy. Like, it's very calming, but it's also incredibly positive. It just feels like love. It feels like love. That's what it feels like. And it's uplifting, and it is inspiring. I feel like a lot of people are also inspired by you because you live in this energy. So we're going to be using the Wild Unknown Tarot today. I felt really called to use these for this reading. So, Source, what more would you like to tell us for pile number 1? What do people secretly admire about you, pile 1? Yeah, love is definitely coming through. You're a nurturer. You give a lot to others. You might be trying to create something where you're actually being of service to others. So that could be like social working. That could be in the law offices, psychology, therapy. That could be in the health industry. For some of you, it could be like, what is that? Oh, I just heard Make-A-Wish Foundation came in, so maybe you work for Make-A-Wish, or what's the other one? Is it Greenpeace? Is that the one where they go and they like, oh, Habitats for Humanity. Okay, like something like that. Or like maybe you travel the world and you help bring water to villages that don't have water, or like you're teaching them sustainable means of survival, and so on and so forth. Yeah, we have the Chariot. Yeah, loving energy. Just a love. You have so much love to give. And I feel like that is such a powerful thing. And it's what people admire about you. It's like you're always loving. But you've also learned along the way that not everybody is worthy of your love. And it's not that you're cruel or ruthless to the people who don't deserve your love. But I do feel like you're very reserved around them. And so it's like if they're doing things that are trying to elicit a reaction or a response from you, you stay cool, calm, and collected. You don't react. You don't even respond. You just allow them to show up however they're going to, and then you move according to what's right for you. What do people secretly admire about you, pile number 1? Source, what more would you like to share with us here? The Son of Cups. a lot of water. We have Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and then we have Cancer energy here. Okay, wow. And Judgment and Pluto. Transformative. On the bottom of the deck, the Sun. Yeah, you're this very bright light. Like, you bring hope with you. It's like, I feel like people admire the fact that even when life feels hopeless, maybe they've watched you struggle, or maybe like there's people here who are wondering what's going on in your journey, and you're not yet where you thought you would have been, where they expected you to be, or whatever, but you still haven't lost hope. Like, you still show up very positive and very present, and you shine this light in a world that's full of darkness, and you're still so much love. It's like, you know, see how you, the contrast, you're the light with the contrast here. You're rising above the naysayers. You're rising above the doubt. You're rising above the self-sabotage. You're rising above all those things that can drag you down, and you still show up with this innocence. Like, no matter how much life has beat you down, you still stand in innocence and in purity. And it's powerful. Because it's like, again, it's like no matter how many times you've been beat up, you still don't show up in the shadow. You still don't show up in the darkness. You don't show up jaded, even though you've been jaded, right? You've made a choice. And the choice here was to focus on what was going to work best for you. And so people secretly admire that the journey, the path for you is about embracing the light. It's about recognizing that if you see this cup, you know, there's not very much light today, but if you see this cup, it's all filled with like rainbow shards is what it looks like here. But underneath the rainbow, it's darkness. It's like you find the value in the shadow. When everyone else, they're drinking the darkness, they're becoming the darkness. And I don't know how else to explain this other than it's just being in the shadow, living in the shadow, right? Being fueled by anger, being fueled by pain, being fueled by hurt, being fueled by the already contrast things that everybody is going to experience in this life. So you could have had a severe accident where you had bodily damage, right? Like where you maybe lost your ability to walk, or your ability to talk, or your ability to move your arms for some time, or to do things the way that you normally did, and you had to heal from that, and you came back, but the whole time you were healing, you were never a monster, quote unquote here. You were never a monster to deal with. You know how pain sometimes turns people into monsters, right? Physical pain can turn people into monsters. Emotional pain can turn people into monsters. And it's not that they're monsters. It's just that this situation is fueling the way that they're choosing to show up. And there's something that you went through that people have seen, but they've also watched you recover from. And they're showing me an accident of some kind, but it doesn't have to be an accident. It could be a breakup. This could be a divorce. This could be losing family. This could be grief. This could be, you know, losing a pet. This could be anything in life, losing a job. But it's like what it is that you've been through. There are people out there who are like, if I had gone through what Pile 1 had gone through, I would be crazy right now. I would be over the top wanting to tear apart everything and everyone. And you're not. And that's what people secretly admire about you. It's like, and maybe there's something that was spread around about you where, you know, you had information about your personal life and it got out into public, or someone gossiped about you and shared personal information with that wasn't supposed to be shared. You still rise above that. Like, no matter what it is that people are saying, like, say there's something personal that you're going through and someone in the family, right? Because the Judgment card can also point to family, but it's talking about information or knowledge that you don't want it to be shared, but is shared, right? And that's what it feels like here. It's like, so there could have been a family member who maybe you told something really personal to, like, okay, maybe you're really sick, or you need a medical procedure done, or you found out you couldn't have kids, or you found out, like, these are the examples that are coming in. And it doesn't have to be that extreme. It could just be like you found out that you need to lose 20 pounds so that you can, you know, not be pre-diabetic anymore, something like that, right? Like, it's something that you had to change with your life, with your health, especially coming in. But it feels like family or someone close to you shared that with people that didn't need to hear it, right? It was your information to share. And so now people are asking you questions about this and you're still rising above that. And that's what people admire about you. It's like you're never fazed by how people show up. And it's not true, right? Like, you are definitely affected by how people show up. But you've learned along the way that this is how you want to show up in life. You always want to be the bigger person, or you always want to take the high road, right? I'm taking the high road because I don't want to take the road that they're on, because that road doesn't really get us anywhere. And that's what people secretly admire about you, is that you're always taking the high road and you're always sharing wisdom that you've gained from taking this high road, and you're embodying that in a way that others can follow that and take direction from that. What a powerful message. Yeah, radically change with Uranus. Radically change. Like, you've changed. And maybe before, this is something that would have really bothered you to the point of acting a different way, or calling this person out in front of everybody, or making a big scene about this situation. But something changed with you. And now it's more about keeping your peace than it is about getting involved with people's drama and getting involved with them trying to involve you in the drama. It's like, you're just like, no, I don't care. If you're going to pass on information about me, that just tells me what I can and can't tell you. So I'm just not going to tell you anything anymore. Like, that's how you're approaching it now. It's not about, you know, being like, oh, I got to defend myself now. I got to tell everybody it was a lie, or I got to try and explain it. I got to do this. It's just, no. If people believed you, like, that's the thing. Here's the thing. If people gossip about you and you learn along the way, right, that if the people that they gossip to are only believing the person who's gossiping about you, and they have no courage to come and ask the person that the gossip's about, you know exactly what kind of people they are. You know those aren't the people you want in your life. Because if someone didn't believe in gossip, I feel like that person would either just, like, brush it off, or that person would go to the person that the gossip's about and be like, hey, I'm hearing this about you, but I don't feel like that's true. You want to tell me your side of the story? You know, like, someone who wants to care about you, they're going to care about you in a way. But most people just believe whatever one person says, and they don't want to ask for the other side of the story, because people love gossip. They love it. They love loose tongues. They love it. And so I feel like for you, it's just like, you know what? If nobody asks me, I'm not going to tell anybody. But what's the point of trying to prove them wrong? Believe whatever you want to believe about me. Because at the end of the day, my hard work, my discipline, and my ability to show up for myself is going to speak for itself. And it is. It already is. Right? Yeah. On the bottom, house 2, physical security. Possessions, material values, and self-worth. Like, that's the thing. You value yourself higher than you value this trying to defend against the gossip. I feel like you've been there trying to defend against the gossip. You've been trying to, like, oh, no, like, that's not true. That's not true. And people are like, yeah, whatever. Why would they tell us that? Like, why would they share it? And it's like, no matter how much you tried to defend yourself, it's like, it always ended in a situation where still people believe the other person, or, you know, or people, they just want to believe whatever they're going to. It's like, you're already going to believe whatever you're going to believe. My main concern is believing what I think about myself. Like, that's the thing that matters here. And through that, you've actually found a very secure place within your own skin. And that's what people admire. They secretly admire that. Like, you're very comfortable in your own skin. Okay, I guess you're getting 3 of these. They all flew out. On the bottom, we've got, look at this, solar eclipse. Watch doors of opportunity swing open. You see opportunity instead of lack, or instead of blockages. You recognize that in order for you to approach life from this positive mindset, I have to live it too. I can't just, you know, I got to embody what it is that I'm talking about, or what it is that I'm sharing with others. And you do. And people are definitely seeing that. We have addict on the bottom. Helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. And the shadows compromises integrity and honesty. allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirits. This feels like maybe you were an addict to, you could have had an addiction in life, okay? But I feel like this could have been an addiction to being treated a certain way, or an addiction to the drama without recognizing it. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in it, we don't realize that we're actually really addicted to it, right? And that's okay. It's just honoring where we're at and what we're experiencing. Yes, thank you for this confirmation, Source. We have Peacekeeper. A harmonious relationship is possible. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're all about keeping your inner peace right now. That's the main thing, right? And before it was like unintentionally or intentionally getting involved in what everyone else was saying about you or what they had to say about situations in general. And now it's just like, cool, believe whatever you want to believe. I don't care. My peace is more important than whatever the heck it is that you're trying to sell everybody. I don't care about that. Yeah, and this is the other thing. Summer, we have bask in joy and light. And that's another thing people admire. It's like you're living your best life. You're in the light. And you're not afraid of that, right? Look, with the Ace of Pentacles, you're living your best life. You're very abundant. You're very bountiful is coming in. I usually don't say that word at all, but that's what it is. It's a bountiful. There's a lot of bounty around you, a lot of blessings. I see what Source is trying to say. What do people secretly admire about you? Your kindness and nurturing. Yeah, you're a very loving person. You give a lot. You help others. That's why I was saying, like, acts of service is definitely one of your love languages, or that's just something that you really like a lot of. You like acts of service a lot, and so you go out of your way to help others. Then we had Pele, light your fire. Yeah, this is like also that thing. It's like you're very intimidating to a lot of people who aren't in their power. And to people who are ready to receive you. So it's almost like day and night here. Some people see you as someone who's incredibly intimidating. And other people see you as someone who they're very drawn to, who they're very connected to, who feel someone who they can relate with. Right? Yeah, we have Dryad with protect your energy. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't just invite people in. You're very cautious about who you let in. You're very protective of your own energy. That's why you don't get involved with the drama and stuff, because you know it just wastes a lot of precious energy and time. Honesty. Yeah. Sweet honesty, flip over. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So you're a very honest person as well. And I feel like your honesty comes from a very loving place too. So you're very honest with others. You're very honest with yourself. But I also feel like your honesty has a tendency to not be well received by some people who have spent their entire lives lying to themselves. And that's where a lot of that comes from, that judgment, that harsh energy. Freedom. They also admire how free you are. You're free spirit, but you live life in a very free way when so many others feel so constricted by the constructs, by society, by judgment, by whatever it is. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. So you're creating the life that you want to live. All right, so I'm going to use this one first. Pioneer, yeah, you're paving your own path. It says a passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. The shadow is compulsive need to keep moving on. Yeah, so you've radically changed your life by choosing to create your journey. And that's what people secretly admire about you. You have very powerful energy here. Okay, what else? Pisces. You could be a Pisces. I was getting Virgo 9th house, Pisces in the 2nd house, Sagittarius rising, Venus, or moon. And I'm also getting with Gemini in like Mercury in Gemini, and Gemini in the 6th house and in the 12th house is coming in. Okay, I know, I was just had to say it. But we have Pisces. Tune into your intuition. People also secretly admire how intuitive you are. So you could be doing something that like divination, or you could just be someone who recognizes when things are going to happen and you can call it out as it's happening or right before it happens. Or you have prophetic dreams that you've shared with others. Or you just know things that people are wondering, how do you know that? It's because you have a very sharp intuition. I love this. North Node. Embrace your true purpose. You're walking your true north. right? Like you are doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. So that could be that you have Virgo or Pisces in the north or south node, okay? But this is someone that, like, when they look at you, they see you, they're like, you're doing exactly what you were meant to be doing all along. It fits so well with your personality. It fits so well with who you are. It's so authentic to who you are. It's like who you were always meant to be. Look at that. Wow, we have stuff. Oh my gosh, I love this. We have stick to your comfort zone. So you're not afraid to step outside of the south node, right? It's interesting that the nodes would come out together. I don't think that's ever happened. I mean, maybe in the dice and the cards, but not together like that. That's such a trip. So I feel like this is just saying, like, this is especially true for you if you have Pisces in either your north or your south node. And if you don't, that's okay. What they're showing here is that you've recognized that in-between space, the balance, realizing that, you know, it's like, if I stay in the south node, things are going to continue as they've always continued. If I step into the north node, then I'm going to be able to, I just heard represent my life. That's what I heard. But, you know, you're going to be able to change your destiny. And so sometimes you do fluidly flow between those, but it's that flow in between them that allows you to embrace what has been so that you can change and become what you want to be. What a powerful reading. So we're going to take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. We've got Luna. Yeah, incredibly intuitive. Very tapped in with the inner godmother, the inner mother, the inner frequency, your emotions. You're very tapped into your emotions. You're a very kind person. Luna. What does Luna tell us? You could do moon magic as well. That could be something that resonates with you. Or you're very tapped into the cycles of the moon. It says this card represents freedom of desire and the illuminated path of moonlit dreams. We had freedom and the sun coming out. Wow, that's crazy. The night can bring comfort to you, or can bring comfort to let your imagination fly and show your wild side. In the dark, our subconscious can bring to the surface vivid clues of a hidden situation. You can achieve your goals and desires if you pay close attention to the limitations of logic and reason. This card can also represent prophetic dreams, an unrealized wild side that calls upon you. So you could have prophetic dreams. You could get intuitive nudges at night, like right before you go to bed. You could astral travel as well. And this is something that has helped you help other people or has helped you deal with certain situations, and you've shared that. And this is something that people secretly admire about you. So maybe you are helping do like dream work with others, or you're helping others in the night. Like maybe people are like, wow, I dreamt about you, pile number one, and you helped me solve this problem that I was having. And you're like, yep, I know, I was there too. Like that could be something that's coming in as well. So, and the affirmation here is just after you state what you wish, say, and so it will be. So you don't actually have an affirmation with the Luna card. It's just, and so it will be. You've come into this state of being and being so true to yourself that that's what people secretly admire about you. I love this reading. What a beautiful reading. The balance, right? The sun and the moon, the day and the night, the north node and the south node, the head and the tail. This is a very balanced energy that you're in, that harmonious state of being. So this is what I see here for you. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little moon and the sun emoji down below and say, I have entered a state of balance and harmonious resolution with my highest self. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It will have everything that you need. With that, I would like to take this moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this incredible message. And until next time, pile number one, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful rose quartz, if you were drawn to this dice with the sun on it, or if you happen to be called to this card during the shuffle, This is going to be a reading on what do people secretly admire about you. First, I'd like to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And if you happen to be new, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things completely differently here on this channel. So that being said, if the message does resonate, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And we're going to go ahead and hop to it and find out, what do people secretly admire about you, pile number 2? Source, what messages would you like to bring forth today? What do people secretly admire about you, pile number 2? Source, what messages do you have for us? So I do want to say this. While I was getting ready for your reading, I was singing all different kinds of songs. Singing Don't Worry, Be Happy. I was singing Don't Want to Close My Eyes. Don't want to fall asleep 'cause I miss you, babe. And I don't want to miss a thing. And yeah, I was just singing all different kinds of songs. It was just like, just little snippets of songs, just randomly singing them. Like kids songs, and that one was coming through, and don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. What's another one? Oh, the Little Mermaid song was coming through as well. Is it Look at This Stuff? Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm a girl who has everything? So something about music, maybe you're a singer or you're a musician of some sort, like you play an instrument or you sing with a choir or with a band, or music is like your thing. Maybe you're like a DJ, or you're like a car DJ, right? Like when your friends are with you, you're like the one that controls the music because everyone's like, you always know how to, like, you know, set it up so it's just a good playlist or whatever it is. So that is something that's coming through so strongly. But I also feel like it's just like the ability to, maybe you sing out in public sometimes, like when you're walking around, a song hits your head and you just start singing it out loud, and you're not worried about whether you sound good or whether you sound on key or off key. And I feel like that makes it just even that much more admirable, because it's like you're not worried about, maybe you sing karaoke. You go to karaoke nights often. So that's just something that's coming through really, I mean, it's so strong coming through. So I just want to talk about that real quick. But we've got the 11th house, we've got Aquarius energy, and we've got the moon. Oh, the other thing could be maybe you quote a lot of songs, like you just quote random songs. You might not sing them, but like you remember the lyrics from them, and so you'll quote a song and people are like, oh, that's really good. Where did that come from? And you're like, yeah, man, that's from this song by this artist. Like that could be something that you do a lot of. What do people admire? You connect well with everybody. You're like the party goer. Wouldn't surprise me if you have a lot of Sagittarius placements in your chart, and as well as Aquarius placements. But you're not necessarily attached to the way people are attached to you, but you're able to get along with everybody. You don't know a stranger. No one's a stranger. You're not afraid to hold a conversation. You're not afraid to talk about goofy stuff. You're not afraid to be your goofy self. You're not afraid to invent things, like to come up with new innovative ways to approach life or situations. This could be at work, but I feel like it's with your friend group, really, especially, or people who know you well. People are definitely emotionally attached to you, and I feel like they're just like always watching you change and shift and become something new, and you're very unpredictable, but it suits you. It's just like, it's like a cloak that you wear, and that's who you are, pile 2. You're just very unpredictable in a very beautiful way. It's not like, oh, they're unpredictable because of their, anxiety or their anger. No, like you're unpredictable, whereas in one day you might wear some really wild colors and the next day you might be dressed in all black. It's like really almost like as if you might dress towards your moods, but that never matches, because maybe on the days that you wear all black, where people might think that you're very sad or you might be angry or something like that, that's when you're at your most bubbly. And maybe the days you wear the brightest colors ever, that's when you're at your saddest, right? It's a contrast here. It just doesn't match. Like, it doesn't match who you are and how you are with what you look like. And people love it. They love it. They admire you, because it's like, oh, that's somebody I wish I could fulfill. Like, I wish I could fill their shoes, but they wouldn't even know where to start. They wouldn't even know how you even wake up in the morning and decide this is what's it for me, because it's so natural to you. You're very friendly. You're incredibly smart. You're incredibly wise. You have so many ideas. You're like a generator for ideas. So, like, you may help other people find ideas. So say you have a friend that's an author and they're like, I don't know, like, I have this idea for a book and I don't know, it just feels like it's not coming together. Maybe I need a little bit more. And you ask them what the premise of the book is and you're like, hey, what about if this happened in the book? And they're like, oh my gosh, that's it. Thank you. Like, you're like that kind of an idea generator. But you're not even attached to it because you're not a writer. Like, you're just like, oh, what about this? It's like you're getting intuitive nudges from source. And you're the one that's bringing those ideas, and you're bringing them to the people who need them the most. And it's up to those people what they do with them. It's like, and then you just go off being your goofy self again, and people admire that. And they admire that you're not so attached to ideas. It's just like, no one can steal from you, but you give to everybody. And that's the feeling. It's like no one can take credit for what you do, because what you do is so unique by itself that there's just no possible way that people could take credit for it. It just wouldn't happen. Wow. So it could be that maybe you make very unique music. Like, it might not even be to publish it. Maybe that's something you like to create on your own, is music. And when people hear it, they're like, wow, this is so different and weird and funky, but it's so pile two. It's just like everything you touch, you turn it into pile two. That's cute. I like your energy. Very quirky. I like that. Almost like eccentric, but in the best possible way. Right? Got some Albert Einsteins among us here today. Alright, so we're going to be using the Wild Unknown Tarot. What do people secretly admire about you? Yeah, you don't fit in with societal norms at all. I don't feel like you ever have. I feel like you were like the kid who maybe played with both G.I. Joe and Barbie. And, you know, if you were a guy, it wasn't against you to try on women's clothes. Or if you were, you know, a girl, it wasn't against you to try on boys' clothes. Like it was just like there was no separation. Everything is very fluid for you. And it's just about what you feel like in that day. You're not going to put, what is it? You're not going to put a stop to something that feels like it's supposed to be you in any one moment. And that's what people secretly admire about you. Like, you're not worried about what other people are thinking, because the only thing that matters is how you feel. I love that. What do people secretly admire about you, pile number 2? Oh, I love it already. Yeah, we've got so much Aquarius energy coming out here. Okay, yeah, this is beautiful. We don't know what's on the bottom of the deck just yet, but let's just stop for a second with the star coming out. Like, look at this star. It's different than all the other stars. All the other stars are white. They don't really have a shape. They kind of look like little spider bugs to me. You know, I don't know if spider is actually a bug. I think it's arachnid. But anyways, it looks like a spider. And, you know, here you are at the center of this star that's multicolored and bright and brilliant and just so different. And it stands out. It's the one thing that your eyes go to when you look at this card is the star. Like, if you didn't know what it was, you could probably guess what the card was, because it's the star at the top. Right? And that's just it. It's like you stand out. Stand out above the crowd, even if I have to shout out loud. Tonight is the only thing you'll see. You're gonna stand out till you notice me. Yeah, but it's like you're not even looking to get noticed. I do what I want because that's what matters to me, and you do that. The train is coming, so you might hear him honking. And with the Four of Wands here, it's like you let go of believing that you had to fit into some box. You're like, why don't I become the box and see what can fit inside of me? It's like you look at it totally different. Everyone else, they're like, I have to fit inside of this. And you're like, no, I am the box. What can I do? What can I create? What can I change? What can I shift? And that's where you find real happiness. You've looked beyond the illusions of life, and emotionally you're fulfilling yourself in a very powerful way. What's on the bottom of the deck? Yeah, the Nine of Coins. You're very independent. Right? It's like when most people, again, with this idea with the box, this box energy, even the outer realm here, it's like everybody's seeing the box and like I have to like mold myself to fit into that. But you don't see it that way. Like you see the box as an opportunity. What opportunity can I do to shift this? To make it more unique, to make it stand out more, to change what it looks like, to bring a little bit more light in. And that makes people feel very uncomfortable in a lot of different circumstances. But mostly people are just so drawn in by your personality, you know, and you don't have to have a super bubbly, over exuberant personality or anything. It's just your personality is quirky as you are. So it's going to be different for each one of you, but it's just as quirky as you are. And it's like people are driven in, they're like called to you by your personality. And then they stay because everything you do is just as quirky as your attitude and your personality. And they're like, wow, this is someone who doesn't live by societal norms. You're free from the cages that the world has placed on you. You see the cage and you're like, how can I decorate it to make it something more inviting for myself that I know that I don't have to even go into? But you're still going to decorate it anyways because you want to. You might even close it after you decorate it just so you can view it in a garden somewhere and be like, yeah, I made that. You could be an artist too. Definitely getting art vibes here, like a lot of art vibes. Let's see what else comes out for you. Source, what else would you like to share? What do people secretly admire about you, pile number 2? You could have Aquarius in the 10th house, in the 11th house, and yeah, interesting. We had Saturn and cardinal energy flip over here. Feel restricted, experience struggle, learn hard work and patience. It's not to say that you've never felt this energy. I feel like it's because of this energy that you decided to push beyond it. Like you maybe have felt Saturn energy play a big part in your life for a long time where you felt like you had to fit in. But I feel like it was never natural to you. Like even as a child, maybe you were forced by parents or forced by church or forced by others to try to fit into this bubble. And so I do feel like you felt Saturn quite a bit. And you know, Saturn in the original astrology, back before we knew of Uranus and all that, Saturn ruled Aquarius as well. Aquarius and Capricorn. And so that struggle was definitely there. But then we see Aquarius break free from the struggle. It's like that shift, moving and breaking free from the struggle. And now it's breaking free from what people sanctioned as this is how it is. You're the one that's asking why. With the cardinal energy especially. Instigation, bravery, and a pioneering spirit. Right? You're the one that's asking why. Why is it this way? And even if there's a valid answer, you're like, nope, it doesn't suit me. It's not good enough. Yeah, house 5, something to do with music for sure. We have passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. You're a very creative person, and you are very confident. And you play with everything. I think like life is a game for you. That's what it feels like, and that's what people secretly admire about you. You just don't take anything so serious. Maybe because you've had to in the past, you were forced into taking things super serious. No, I'm super serial, man. Like, I feel like that's what it is. It's like, and then you found the joke or the prank or you found the punchline, whatever it is to life. And that's how you've been living from then on. You've been living in the punchline. And that's what everybody is just, wow, that's so cool. Yeah, cusp, we have break on through. Yeah, you definitely were like, I'm not going to live in this restrictive energy anymore. Like, it just doesn't feel right. Almost made your skin crawl. That's what I'm feeling. Like, it's just like this idea, like, like, I don't want to live in that. It's just too small. It's too restrictive. It's too limiting. So you see what people see as limitations, you see as possibilities, you see as opportunities. And this is what people secretly admire about you. Yeah, South Node. Stick to your comfort zone. You're like, cool, if that's something that you guys like, cool, stick with it. But for you, you're not about that life. You're about moving on. You're about seeing it for what it is and growing from it. And that's what people secretly admire about you. What else, Source? Okay, thank you. Indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. Like, when most people are struck with indecision, they're just stuck and stagnant. For you, indecision becomes another opportunity. Like, it's the way you frame your life. Like, everything that everybody thinks is difficult, hard, and challenging, for you, you're like, where's the opportunity? What can I do? How is this benefiting me? How is this going to help me? And that's what people secretly admire about you. You're not looking at struggle as struggle. You're looking at struggle as a doorway. And it might be to the unknown, and that might be uncomfortable, but it's better than just sticking around and feeling the pressure of that closing in on us and not doing anything. Yeah, Mother Mary coming out. She rarely ever makes an appearance out of this deck. So this is a rarity. You're a rarity. With emotional healing here, it's like you've healed yourself emotionally. This is what you've broken through. The conventional norms. You could have grown up with an incredibly religious background as well, and spirituality might have been a breakthrough for you. And letting go of saying it has to be this way, and for you seeing all possibilities, seeing it as always. What if always are right? But that wasn't something that your upbringing let you see. You know, I'm thinking, when I think Mother Mary, I immediately think of Catholicism. And Catholicism is very restricting in some cases, just like Christianity, just like many religions. There's a lot of restriction there. And for you, is like almost seeing the restriction as a reason to question. Why is it that way? But when no one could give you a valid answer, then you had to find something else. And even that, like, if it wasn't religion, maybe you grew up in a restrictive environment. But say like the answer was, well, why is it like this? And people just say, well, because I said so. For you, it never sat well. You're like, no. So the minute you were able to, you went and found as many reasons as you could to why it was. And it was always about what mattered most to you and what resonated most with you. And you took that. You didn't even question it. It's like the minute you found something that resonated with you, that's the place that you went. That's the journey you started on. And then it was always about observing and gaining more. But a lot of emotional healing. Whoa. Interesting. Okay, so this was on the bottom, but it fell off the deck. And so I thought this was on the bottom. We have Uma here with watch your words. And I know there's a G in there, but you pronounce it as Uma. And then we have Had, tell the truth. Like, that's the other thing, too. I feel like you don't worry about what you say to people. Like, you could be one of those people that might not have a filter at all. But it doesn't mean that it's bad. I don't feel like you're someone that's breaking people down or making people feel bad about themselves. What I say is, like, when something comes up and you feel like a deep truth needs to be expressed, whether that's regarding a person in front of you or regarding yourself in regards to the situation, you're going to say it. Like, you're not going to hold back. And that is something that people secretly admire, because you have this strength about you where you're able to say exactly what's going on with yourself or with the situation in and of itself. And other people would just use that as a reason to stay quiet because of the discomfort. Yeah, super intuitive, super psychic. You could have psychic abilities. Okay, we have Moon with take note of intuitive messages. But you definitely do run by your intuition, which I'm saying, like, watch your words and tell the truth. I feel like most of the time, and, you know, I'm going to say most of the time, not 100% of the time, because we're all human, right? We can't get it right 100% of the time. So we're always going to have those human errors. But I feel like most of the time you come from a place where your intuition's like, we need to say something about this, and you do. And other times maybe it hasn't worked out for you, and that could have been when the emotional ego was saying something and you followed that. But that's okay, right? Like, there's like, I feel like you laugh at yourself and you move on, or you don't see it as the end of the world, and that's something that people secretly admire about you. Yeah, we have Exorcist here flying out. freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. That's what I'm saying, like that restriction. It was destructive for you. And the shadow is fear of facing your own inner demons. And so that's the thing. It's like you're not afraid to face your own inner demons here. You're not afraid to see those things for what they are. And that's what people secretly admire about you. We have child divine, innocence, purity, redemption, suggests a special connection with the divine. Yeah, you're very psychic. You're very tuned in, right? And that expression helps you, like your ability to express is truly the divine expressing through you. We have the shadow as an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. And there could have been a lot of negativity growing up in your life, and you had to learn how to defend yourself against that. But you had to trust in something that, you know, you couldn't see. It was only something you could feel. I don't know why this keeps sliding around here. Oh, well. We're just going to leave it. Whatever. They're a little crooked. We're going to leave it. Surrender. I can release my need for control. Yeah, and here I was trying to control that. And it's funny because I feel like there has been a point in your life when maybe you did try to control outcomes. Like maybe you were very strict and rigid. Maybe things had to be a certain way. I'm getting OCD because I really want to fix this for some reason, even though it's not like it really matters. But there could have been a situation where you had been OCD in your life, or maybe you had to face a part of yourself. Your OCD came from having to experience this struggle. See, it won't stay straight. Yeah. And I feel like that's something that taught you. It's like, it's just going to be whatever it's going to be, and to be okay with however it's showing up. Lord, take charge with authority. Yes, this is that feeling like you just, whenever things started to shift for you, you came out running and you never looked back. You see things, and you've always seen things in a different way, but now you're living in that difference. And that is something that people secretly admire about you, pile number 2. It's a very powerful energy. Okay, so let's take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. Good fortune. You see opportunity with everything, and I feel like things work out for you. Just generally things work out for you because you see opportunity with everything. Even if it's not exactly what you thought it could be or what you wanted, it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. And I feel like that's something that people secretly admire about you as well. It says, in ancient Egypt, the scarab beetle was a symbol of good fortune, rebirth, and protection from jealousy. This card indicates prosperity and long-term success. It could also mean a miracle or blessing. This, however, is not a passive fortune. Now is the time to formulate new ideas. Yeah, you're a generator. You are an idea generator. To formulate new ideas about the path you want to follow. Decide what you're interested in and take action because luck is on your side. This card can ease the hard work that needs to be done to get the finish line. But it's up to you to see yourself through. You will resurrect your power when you encounter obstacles on your way. But you need to stay focused on your goals. Don't forget to celebrate your success. And your affirmation is, I attract good fortune. Yeah, so people secretly admire that you have a lot of good fortune that comes to you. And I feel like you recognize that it's because of hard work. And it's also because of how you see your life. But it is something that does inspire a lot of people around you, and especially those that you know, or maybe people that you have online that are following you. Maybe you have some sort of channel that you use to connect with others, but you're inspiring a lot of people, and you also pull on their heartstrings just by being your weird, quirky self. It's like you give others the permission to let their weirdness shine through, and they really, really do admire you for that. What a cool reading. I'm really honored I got to connect with you today, pile number 2. This is what I see here for you. If you feel like this is your reading, I'll tell you what, leave your favorite weird emoji down below and say, I embrace my weird, quirky self, knowing that I'm shining a light on a path for others to do the same. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It has everything that you need. And with that, I would like to take this moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this incredible message. I'm truly honored to have you here. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this garnet piece, or if you were drawn to this dice with the moon on it, or if you were called to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on what do people secretly admire about you. First, I would like to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And if you are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things completely differently here on this channel, so with that in mind, if the message does resonate, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. So let's go ahead and hop to it and find out, what do people secretly admire about you, pile number 3? Source, what messages do you have for us today? What do people secretly admire about pile number 3? What would you like to say? Oh, and I did get a channel message, a song. You might have resonated with another pile as well. Just putting that out there. And if you watch all 3 piles, leave a purple heart down below. That's part of my Purple Heart Club. You just can just say I made it. I know what that means, and I thank you for that. But if you're here just for pile 3, I appreciate your time too. But I did get a channel message. It was like, don't go breaking my heart. Couldn't if I tried. That song was like stuck in my head. I had to get up after pile number 2 and reset my energy. And I actually sit through and I do these all back to back to back. And so when I take a break, it's like a 10-minute break so that I can come back and do it. But the whole 10 minutes, and I was getting just prepped to come back, and it was like this song would not stop. It just kept playing over and over and over again. And so the song could mean something to you, but I'm getting that energy where it's like people they secretly admire the fact that even though you could break their hearts, like you do not go out of their way to do, like out of your way to do so. Like even if someone breaks your heart, or even if someone hurts you, so it's almost as if you get really personal information from a lot of people. Like people might just, word vomit their lives onto you, and you might have a lot of that information where you could really hurt someone with it, but you choose not to. You are someone who comes in a very high vibration, and you don't see the point. Like, what's the point of me hurting you the way that I hurt you? You're not going to go down that road. You don't want to do that. And so I feel like that's why this song is getting channeled, but it could just mean that somebody's listening to it right now, or it could just be that that's a song that you really like, or whatever. Okay, so we've got the 8th house, we've got Saturn energy, and we've got Aries. Interesting. A lot of very active energy here. Yeah, you've had a lot of hardships in your life. I feel like that's a thing, like, you know a lot of secrets with the 8th house. That goes hand in hand with what I was feeling with that song. You know a lot of secrets. You know a lot of people's secrets. Like, and I don't feel like you go out of your way to learn secrets. You're not like, hey, tell me all your secrets. What are your secrets? Where's your secrets? I need your secret. Like, that's not you. You're just kind of like living your life, and you're not bothering anybody. And all of a sudden everyone's like, hey, let me tell you a secret. And you're like, okay, here we go again. All right. And so I do feel like people just naturally gravitate towards you and share their secrets with you. And you have a lot of really vulnerable personal information that could destroy a lot of people, and people who've hurt you. I feel like you even have really personal information about them as well. But you are a leader, so you want to lead by example. You want to show people that we don't have to go down this road. And that's what people secretly admire about you, that you never, no matter, even if people try to provoke you, and I'm not saying that people are doing it on purpose. I'm just saying, like, if people have tried to provoke you to go down this road, you still don't. You endure the hardship. You endure it, and you persevere from that. It's almost like people who've, like, keep piling rocks on your shoulders. Like, they just keep piling, like, rocks of judgment or rocks of hurt, rocks of pain, and they pile it on your shoulder, and somehow you can still stand erect and carry those burdens. And people are absolutely flabbergasted by it. And they admire you for it because they see that. They see it unfolding. Or it's people who are getting to know you and they see that there's so much more to you than what they even imagined. Right? They might have taken you at face value, and face value, you might seem like someone who's never had a lot happen to you, which most people do, right? Like, we take you at face value. Most people just look like they're normal people. Like, okay, they're just living a normal life. But what is a normal life? If not full of tragedy and grief and sacrifice and good and, abundance and blessings as well. It comes with both. And I know a lot of people don't think that it does, but it's because most people only focus on the negative. So when the good things do come, they're not as present with them because they're either catastrophizing or they're worried about what's going to happen next. Like, what's going to take this good thing away from me? So they're never present with the blessings. I feel like for you, you've had to learn how to be present with both the blessings and the hardships. And I do feel like you've grown up in a situation where a ton of people were jealous and envious of you, and they may have ridiculed you and bullied you. Like, I'm getting bully energy here. Like, someone or other people has bullied you and made you feel small and put you into some sort of situation where you had to break free. And it could be that you share that through story or through a blog or through a podcast or even online. Like, this could be something that fuels your ability to help others. And you don't have to have an online presence here. It could be anything. But I do feel like your ability to tap into that deep hurt is something that people admire because you are incredibly relatable. People can relate to you and they feel like you relate to them. And part of that comes by standing in your own power. Like, after a period of time where you felt disempowered, there was a struggle and you broke free from that struggle to empower yourself. And that's what people secretly admire about you. So we're going to be using the Wild Unknown Tarot today, and we're going to see what messages come through. So Source, what more would you like to say? What do people secretly admire about you? Pile number 3. What do people secretly admire about you? Pile number 3. Yeah, you're very abundant. Like, things could finally be looking up for you, where you're getting love, you might be getting money. It's like, if pile number 3 went through all these hardships and they're still able to create this life that they wanted, like, you give others motivation to go after their dreams as well. Something about sadness keeps coming through as also. It's like, I feel like you've dealt with an exorbitant amount of grief in your journey, but you still are somehow very positive, and that's something that people secretly admire about you. What do people secretly admire about pile number 3? That card wants to come in, so I'll take it. Thank you very much. Okay, Source, what do people secretly admire about you? Pile number 3. Source, what would you like to say? What more would you like to share with us? Okay, this one. Okay, these two. So that song is still playing. Don't go breaking my heart. I couldn't if I tried. We've got the Mother of Wands on the bottom. You've learned how to protect yourself. So this could be family members who maybe you were bullied in school. Maybe you were, just bullied in general. By other family members, cousins. So not all our primos are nice. I'm just gonna say that. Like, not all our primos are nice, okay? But you get it. Like, it's like, I do feel like there were people around you that were bullying you, or like you didn't have a voice when you were younger. This really feels like family for some reason, but it could be anybody. It could be friends. It could just be people around you that you're inspiring to do better for themselves. But they've seen you come into this place of protecting yourself, and you no longer take any BS. Like, you just don't. You're like, look, if you're going to show up as a bully, just know that I'm going to stop it. I'm going to be the person who stands up against that. So maybe you could be someone who is advocating for victims of bullying. Like, you could be helping people in that, or you could be helping people who need a voice to have a voice. That's what this feels like. Like, you're a voice among others that don't have a voice or feel like they can't have a voice. Victims of abuse, victims of domestic abuse of any kind. This feels like that. You could be working for a safe house, like a victim safe house type situation. That's what this really feels like. Also, I'm getting a police officer coming in here, and oddly enough, security guard is coming in as well. But like security guard, not like for your normal security guard. This is like a different type of security guard. So maybe you are a for hire security guard, where you go and you work for certain people. Okay. But with the Mother of Wands here, we see you're incredibly confident, and you're capable of setting boundaries, but not just setting boundaries, enforcing those boundaries. So like if you set a boundary and someone's going to try and step over it, like you're someone who basically puts your hands up like this and you say, nope, we're not going past this area. We're not going past this line in the sand. They try to put a toe over it, and you're the force that pushes them back. Whether that's through words or through actions. I really feel like this is more for energy, but it could be also through words or through action. Like you're capable of setting incredibly strict boundaries with people without fear of what people think of you. And that is something that people secretly admire about you. They're like, wow, I wish I could set boundaries like pile number 3. I wish I could do the things like pile number 3. You don't let people walk on you. Because I feel like you've felt that too much in your life. You felt people step on you. You felt people walk on you. You felt people use you as the rug to dry their nasty, dirty feet on. And it was enough is enough. I'm not a piece of sand. I'm not someone here for you to just grind into the ground. I'm a person and I have feelings. And that's why it's like, even though people tell you their secrets, I feel like you know secrets from your past, from people who may have victimized you. You know secrets that could destroy their lives, but you still say nothing because it's for you. It's not about that. This is not an eye for an eye. It's like, I'm going to start setting boundaries and I'm going to take care of myself. That's what this feels like. Wow. Yeah. The 4 of Swords. Interesting. Judgment. Yep. Family. Okay. And the 3 of Cups. Okay, so that's the thing, like, there's definitely family. Honestly, the 3 of Cups, while it can be a celebratory card, it does talk about family, too. Judgment talks about family. And the 4 of Swords talks about entrapment by family, like being stuck in a situation by peer pressure from family. So we have a lot of family energy, even though we don't have the 8 of Cups, which is my family card. But these are things that these cards do refer to at some point in time. And so the family energy is coming in. This could have been family who didn't stand up for you or who was bullying you. And now you're standing up for yourself, and other family members who may not have had a voice against a certain family member, like, wow, pile number 3, like you're the person we all wish we could be because you finally found your voice, right? And that's the other thing is, like, you're soft about it. You're not trying to come in and destroy people. Like you're coming in like a lamb, like you're coming in with a sense of purity. I heard penance for some reason. I was going to say that. But you come in with this sense of purity and gentleness, and you know how to set these boundaries, and you know how to do it in a very bold way. And you've risen above something here. You've risen above their judgments. You've risen above their hurt. You've risen above their pain, their suffering that they projected onto you. And thus you found freedom by reconnecting with yourself, your higher self, and with the divine. This to me feels more like your divinity coming in. It's not about building the family. It's about how you found a way to reconnect with something that may have felt impossible when you were a child or when you were younger. It's like, that's the other thing with judgment. It talks about, like, you know things. You know things you're not supposed to know, but it's like, how are you not supposed to know it when people give you that information, right? Like, you know things because people gave you that information. So you're learning how to heal from these family traumas. That's the thing. It's like, this feels like a turning point in therapy. You could be a therapist. You could be helping others in therapy. Or it's like you could talk about how therapy has helped your life. And that is what others admire too, because you're not afraid to mention that you've had to go to therapy in your life. When so many people put a stigma on going to therapy when it's actually a super beneficial thing for our emotional health and even our mental health. Like, where this feels like you're taking your emotional and your mental health so seriously, and that's something that people secretly admire too. And it's from the suffering that you've risen into this very powerful thing. You're waking up to a spiritual reality and understanding yourself on a deeper level, finding happiness now. This is like issues with a parent-child relations. Now you're realizing something, there was a dynamic that was unfolding that was creating a lot of dissonance on your journey. That could be with a father, with a mother, with a grandfather, a grandmother. That could be an auntie, an uncle. That could be just a caregiver in your life. Maybe that's a foster mother, foster father. But it's like someone who had that role in your life, realizing that there was issues with that, the relationship that you had with them. And realizing that, or this could have been two people who were ganging up on you, and you had to learn how to defend yourself against people who you couldn't defend yourself. Like if you're dependent on people, how do you defend yourself against people you're dependent on? Because they'll use that dependence as a way to judge and to chastise you, right? And that's what I feel like happened. So it taught you a lot of wisdom early on, and you've risen above that. So you could have been privy to some, like I keep hearing illegal activity coming in. That's coming in really strongly as well. You could have been privy to some illegal activity by people who were taking care of you, or people who you at one point relied on. But now you still speak softly, but you are still very powerful in how you speak softly. That's what I'm saying. Like you could have a very quiet voice, a very soft voice. So it's like when you speak, people actually have to stop talking to listen to you, because you might not have a very projected voice. And it's not that say that you don't or you can't. What I'm saying is like people listen to you because there's something powerful in the softness of your words, in the softness of the way that you show up. It's a very feminine energy. You had to learn how to defend yourself with the softness of the divine feminine. And it doesn't, you could be a divine masculine, you could be a divine feminine. It doesn't matter what you identify with. This is where you found that soft power, was through the divinity of the feminine power, the receptivity. There was a lot of restriction in your life, right? And you had to let go of these restrictions. You were trying to push against those constraints, to push against that life that you were living. And for a long time, I don't think that you had a way out. And so you've learned how to make a way out. And that's what people secretly admire. So I do feel like these are people that admire you, are people who've seen you go through this struggle, or have seen you rise up. Let me try that again. Who have seen you rise above the struggle. I'm going to get there, I promise. All right, let's see what else comes through for you here on the bottom. Yeah, spiritual growth. That's another thing that people deeply admire about you, is your ability to grow spiritually. So you take your spiritual journey incredibly serious, but also not so serious that it's, cutting you off from play, fun, and pleasure. It's just what you've poured a lot of your energy, your time, and your effort into is spiritually growing, because I feel like it's the only thing that has made you feel a sense of home. And so that's what people really, truly admire about you. Scorpio, yeah, face your feelings. The fact that you face those feelings from the past and you don't let them control how you show up in this moment. Like that feeling, like you could absolutely treat this like an eye for an eye. You could probably destroy some people with what you know, but you choose not to, because that's what's powerful. That's the thing, you know the secrets, but they're not your secrets to share, so you're not sharing them. And I think that just surprises a lot of people. Yeah, acceptance. I am learning to accept the things I cannot change, right? Just accept things as they are, and that's moving on, and that's coming up into a spiritual enlightenment, because you're accepting the way things are. You're accepting the way things happened. I can't change what happened in the past, but I can choose to change myself in this moment, and that's what people admire about you. You're always working on yourself. Past life healing. You've healed so much. That's what I'm saying. Like, and you don't have to believe in multiple lives or in reincarnation or anything. Past life healing is just what you've lived up until this moment as well. And so this could be past life as in reincarnation life as well. But with Hecate here, we have this energy where you recognize that there was something that you went through that was horrifying, But instead of becoming ruled by that or whatever that left with you, you instead transformed it into something very beautiful. All right, what else, Source? What do people admire about pile number 3? Okay, so you're getting 2 of these. We have Arrow. Surround yourself with protective energy. Learning how to protect yourself. And Drum. Dream and journey. So you could have learned a lot of information from your dreams. This could also be that you do journeying, like shamanic journeying, and that has helped you find answers, like connecting with the animal spirits, connecting with your higher spirit, connecting with your guides, connecting with ethereal spirits. That's something that has helped you realize that there's so much more out there than what everybody has brought to your life, and that's helped you free yourself from the shadow that was surrounding you at one point in time. And also, I feel like there's acceptance of being different here and being okay with that. Finally being okay with that is what I'm hearing. Yeah, Trader. Exchange energy to create abundance. That's the thing. It's like you want abundance in your life. So if I want abundance in my life, why am I going to keep exchanging low vibrational energy? So you become the embodiment of abundance. And that's the type of energy that you pass on everywhere you go, is abundance. Let's get one of these. Prince. Oh, I like this. We have romantic charm and potential for power. And the shadow is using power for self-aggrandizement. So there's someone here, I feel like, that might have been a narcissist in your life. And that could be who we're referring to. It doesn't have to be. It could be many, many people. But I do feel like there was definitely someone who was very overbearing and making you feel small made them feel big. And you had to heal from that. And in doing so, you became this incredibly charming person. And you could be like what people call the snake charmer. That's what I'm hearing, the snake charmer. So especially with this, the Mother of Wands coming out, I just totally even forgot there was a snake on the card when it came through. But you are able to charm even the scariest of energies in this realm by being your true self. Monk and nun, yeah. And there's something about your spiritual devotion. Selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. And then the shadow is negative judgment of the physical world and excess piety. Yeah, like you just don't see it. You don't see like why people treat people that way. Or maybe you do see the why, but you don't participate. You're not trying to aid in the chaos that's already here. You're trying to bring forth this, it's like a very straight arrow journey towards your spiritual growth. And that's what people admire about you. You are very clear about your spiritual journey. We have square energy with a challenging situation and a mountain to climb. This has been a true challenge for you. This situation has been a real challenge for you. Water, like, look, let the feelings flow. And the Scorpio with face your feelings. This has been really trying. And there's been a lot of emotions that have been tied in with your journey, right? And you've had to learn how to feel those emotions. And you are an embodiment of feeling those emotions in a very graceful way. And that's what people admire about you secretly. We have fear. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in this energy of love. You've let go of fear. You don't fear much anymore. And it's like if a fear does arise, you go back to what am I feeling and what's coming up from that. Oshun with sweet success. And you're very abundant. And I feel like that's another thing that people secretly admire about you is just how abundant you are. You're truly an abundant person. So let's take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. We have mindfulness. Yeah, I love that. You're always present with what is. You're not worried about what happened in the past anymore because the past has had its own hold on you for too long. And there's no sense in worrying about the future because the future hasn't happened yet. And so you come into this state of mindfulness, which gives you a lot more power than you would think, right? That's where we're truly meant to live at. It says there's a lot of beauty in the stillness of the mind. Allowing ourselves to be in the present moment and not worry about how things could have been or what we could have done better can open our minds to the treasures of what we have to be thankful for. With great patience and perseverance, we can accomplish anything. It's best not to rush into action or judgment too quickly. Often, patience is not about how long we can wait, but what we would do with our time while waiting. We can learn to be grateful for every moment of our day, even if we feel stuck and things don't go our way. Like the praying mantis, staying mindful will make all of your endeavors more fruitful and meaningful. And the affirmation for you here is, I am still. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you've stilled the mind, and in stilling the mind, you've tapped into the divine power, which I get here with this, like this star up here at the top, right? It's like you found the pathways, that all pathways in stillness lead to this wisdom from source. And that's what's brought in this sweet success. So this is what people secretly admire about you, and rightfully so. You're doing an incredible job, pile number 3. So this is what I see here for you today. I'm truly honored I got to connect with such a beautiful energy. Keep doing you, and remember that we need you. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the star emoji down below and say, when I sit in stillness, I find that all paths lead directly to my enlightenment and my inner wisdom. And if it resonated with you, it'd mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It will have everything that you need. With that, I want to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this truly powerful message today. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.